students, welcome to the online session or the subject of structural analysis. This subject of structural analysis is mainly for the student of structural engineering. Basically, in design of any kind of a structure, first of all, analysis is required to be done. If the analysis of the structure is done properly, then the design of the structure can be done properly. So basically, we can say that structural analysis is very important subject for the structural engineering students. So let's start with this important subject of structural analysis. So 3, 2, 1. Let's start. Now starting with our example where we have the UDL. Okay, you can see that we have the span AB. Okay, in which at E and at C point we are having the concentrated load of 50 kilonewton at E and 100 kilonewton at C, and in the span D to C we are having the UDL having the load of 20 kilonewton per meter. Okay, having the intensity of that. So as our step says that we need to find the reaction first of all. Okay, so first we will be finding the reaction. So for that purpose we need to find the reaction. So basically we need to, here we can see that Ra plus Rb is equal to 100, that is equal to 20 into 2 plus 50. Okay, so ultimately we can say that if we are taking the moment at A, then in that case the equation will be in such a way that capital RB into 8, that is the distance of B to A. So capital RB into A, that will be equal to, means that is only the thing we are getting in the anti-clockwise direction from the right hand side of the joint A, and all the other loads will be in the downward direction. So it is being creating the clockwise moment in the particular beam. So yes, so it will be equal to 100 into 6, that is distance of C to A will be 6, plus 20 we have to consider, we have to make an equivalent concentrated load. So basically the UDL is for the 2 meter span. So ultimately we have to convert it into concentrated load. So 20 into 2, and the distance will be from the center, that is from the F. So it will be equal to 2 plus 2 plus 2, that is equal to 6. Okay. Plus 50 into 2. So ultimately we are getting the RB will equal to 112.5 kilonewton, and by subtracting it from the total load, that is 50 plus 100 plus 20 into 2, we are getting the value of RA equal to 77.5. Okay. So let's start with the shear force. So shear force at B will be equal to 112.5, and that is in the positive direction. Okay, so it will be in upward direction. Now moving towards the point C, we have the shear force equal to 112.5, which is constant, because from moving from B to C there is no other load acting onto it. So we have a constant load, and at a particular C point we are having the load of 100 kilonewton in the downward direction. So ultimately we are getting the shear force at C equal to 112.5 minus 100, that is 12.5. Okay. Now we have to move towards the next point, that is D. So at D point, what we need is, we need to find the shear force at D. So at C we have got 12.5. Now what extra thing that comes in our this section is the UDL, that is 20 into 2. So plus 12.5 minus 20 into 2. So ultimately we are getting the value of minus 27.5 kilonewton shear force at point D, and it is in minus sign. So minus sign says that we are getting the negative shear force. So for that purpose, we have to move below the line. Okay. Now what we need is we need the shear force at E. In previously we are getting at D, we are getting the minus 27.5 kilonewton, and that will be constant till the E. Moving from D to E, the shear force will be constant, that is minus 27.5. At particular point E, we are having the load of 50 kilonewton in downward direction. So minus 27.5 plus 50 means minus 50. So ultimately we are getting the shear force at minus 77.5. Okay. And moving further towards A, we are having the minus 77.5 kilonewton at this point A, and exactly at point A we are having the reaction of plus 77.5. So this says that we will be reaching to 0 at point. So in this way we need to find the shear force, and in this way the diagram will be also there. Okay. Here at shear force at A, at shear force at F point we are having the value equal to 0. So basically we need to find what is the point at which the value is 0. So basically shear force at F will be equal to 112.5 minus 100 minus 20 into x minus 2. But in this way we can find the value of x. So it will be at distance 2.65. Okay. So at 2.65 we have the shear force equal to 0. Now we have finded out all the shear. Now it's time for the bending moment. Bending moment at the ends will be equal to 0. Bending moment at A will be equal to 0. Bending moment at B will be also equal. So now what we need is we need to find the bending moment at E, C and D and F. So bending moment at C will be equal to 112.5 into 2. From the left hand side we are getting the anti-clockwise moment, so it will be in the positive sign. So 112.5 into 2 will be 225 kilonewton meter. Moving towards the point E, so that will be equal to RA, that is 77.5 into 2, and that is means from the left hand side we are getting in the clockwise direction. On the left hand side of the joint we are getting in the clockwise direction, so it will be positive, and that will be equal to the 155 kilonewton. Now we have a point at which the shear force was 0. Okay, so basically we need to find the bending moment at that point, and that point is at F. Okay, so let's start from the left hand side, that is the distance was 2.65. So 112.65 into 2.65, 11, so basically the bending moment at F will be equal to 112.5 into 2.625, okay, minus 100 into 0.625 minus 20 into 0.625 into 0.625 by 2. We are just making that UDL into an equivalent force. So finally we are getting the value in a positive direction, means positive sign, and that is equal to 228.9. And we have a particular bending moment at D. So that will be equal to 112.5 into 6, that is the distance from B to D. Then we have 112.5 into 4. Then we have the loading of 100 kilonewton in downward direction, and its distance was 2. So we have to subtract it further by 100 into 2, and further we have the downward UDL load, that is minus 20 into 2 into 2 by 2. So finally we are getting the bending moment of 210 kilonewton meter. And you can see that the maximum value is at F only, that is 2 to 8.9. Means it is at a point at which the shear force was 0. So ultimately the shear bending moment will be okay. Now let's see a problem related to a couple. Means whenever the couple is acting in a beam, then in this way how the we can solve the beam. So here we have the two reaction, that is RA and RB, over which we have the UDL, that is from A to D, and we have the couple at point C. 40 kilonewton couple is being acting on to it. Okay, you can see in the figure. The reaction will be the first step. So ultimately we need to find the reactions. So RA plus RB will be equal to 20 into 2, that is equal to 80. Taking the moment at A, if we are taking the moment at A, then the formula will be in such a way that RB into 10, the distance from B to A is 10 meter, and it is in anti-clockwise direction. Another all the things are in clockwise direction. Okay, so yes, RB into 10 will be equated to the 40, that is in clockwise direction with respect to point A, plus 20 into 4 into 2. We have to make it in a concentrated. So 20 into 4 into 2. So finally we are getting the reaction at B equal to 20 kilonewton, and after subtracting it from the 80, we are getting the reaction of 60 kilonewton at A. So we have found the reaction. Now next thing that required is the shear force. So ultimately let's start with the right hand side, that is the B. So at B point the shear force will be in 20, because there is only a reaction that is in upward direction, and in upward direction we are considering the shear force as in positive sign. So 20, it will be constant at C also, because there is no extra loading onto it. So at C point also the shear force will be plus 20, and it will be above the central line. And moving towards the A, we have a particular UDL. So plus 20 minus 20 into 4. So plus 20 minus 80, we are getting the shear force at A equal to minus 60. In between, moving from D to A, there will be a point in which the loading, the shear force will be changing its sign. So let's see what is that distance. So basically it will be a distance x, okay, from the D side. So shear force at E, considering it as shear force at E will be equal to 0. So it will be equal to 20 minus 20 into x 0.6. So we can say that at a distance 7 meter from the right hand side, 7 meter from the right hand side, taking the moment from the right hand side, that is B. Okay. So taking the moment from the right hand side, we are getting the distance 7 meter from the B, which says that at 7 meter from the B there is the shear. And from this, the idea has come to your mind that at this point, at this particular 7 meter from the B, there will be a maximum bending. Okay. So let's find the bending moments. Okay. So first thing is clear that the bending moment at both the ends A and B will be 0. Now we need to find the intermediate bending moment. Okay. So at C point we have the couple. So we have to find the bending moment just before, and we have to find the bending moment just after. So first of all, we will be moving towards the bending moment just before. So it will be equal to the reaction that is at B into lever arm, that is 5. So bending moment at C will be equal to 20 into 5, and it is the clockwise direction from the right hand side of the joint. So right hand side of the joint, if it has been it is a clockwise anti-clockwise direction from the right hand side of the joint. So it will be positive. So it will be 100 kN just before the point C. Okay. Now we have the couple of 40 kN into meter. Okay, and that is in clockwise sign on the right hand side of the joint. So it will be negative sign. So bending moment at C just after will be equal to 100 minus 40, and it will be still a positive 60 kilonewton into meter. Okay. Now moving towards the point D. So here the bending moment will be equal to 20 into 6 minus 40, that is the couple, and ultimately it will be equal to plus 80 kilonewton into meter. And at point E we will be having also having a moment. Okay, that is at a distance 7, means at the point E the shear force was 0. So definitely here the bending moment will be the maximum. So bending moment at E will be equal to 20 into 7 minus 40 minus 20 into 1 into 1.5. We are just converting that UDL into a concentrated load. So we are multiplying it by the distance, and further we are dividing it with by 2. Okay, so finally we are getting the bending moment at E will be equal to 90 kN, and bending moment at E is the maximum. So hence we can say that the bending moment at E will be the max. Okay, so we are keeping up to here in this session. See you in the next session. So here we are ending our session. Hope you have liked the session. We have discussed each and every topic in brief and also in detail. We have discussed each and every topic's practical application also. So thank you for attending the session, and if you have any kind of a doubt, if you have any kind of a query, then you can send me your doubts and queries in mail. My mail is in my YouTube channel. Do check into my YouTube channel, like it, share it, and again thank you for attending this session. See you in the next session. Thank you.